what's up? Travel Chronicles, chapter 95. So I think we only got 5 of these left. This one's kind of an important one, big deal. Also, Tuesday positivity. Browns are in the playoffs. Just FYI. Just so you know, this is a different shirt than yesterday. Turns out I grabbed the wrong size shirt. It was a large. I don't wear larges. I mean, I can. It's really tight. So the milestone was that in the game last night, Faith got her first varsity points. She's had some opportunities on free throws and different things to get a point here or there, and she's missed them, right? Because it's been like front ends of 1-on-1s or something, and she's got fouled on the defensive end and had to walk all the way down to the other side of the court, and she's missed that shot. So last night they were down 2 girls, I think because of COVID, and so the 7th girl got to start, or the 6th girl's I guess like a quasi post player. She's like the only sub for the post. She got in early because the other girl got into foul trouble, and she was the one who had the biggest advantage against this other team. She had 30 last time, so this time she had 15, 17 points, somewhere around there, maybe 19. She might have got a cheap bucket or 2 at the end. Anyway, the other freshman starts, so now you got 2 freshmen in the starting lineup and 3 juniors, as opposed to normally where you have 4. And Faith got moved to the 7th person. So I wasn't sure how much she was going to play, but it ended up being that the other freshman got into foul trouble. And part of the reason is that none of these freshmen are particularly good at defense. I think they try. Surprised me a little bit. We played man last night, which we could have played man against them. That was a good matchup for us to play man if we were going to play man-to-man defense. That was the time to do it. It was only a 2-point. It's like, oh, it was only a 2-point game. It's like, okay, yeah, but you're missing a starter and your 8th person. You're playing your 9th person now as a 7th person, and the person who dominated the game last time got into foul trouble early on in the game. So Faith got in, I think, with like 38 seconds or so left in the first quarter. She did all right. In the second quarter, she came out, and she actually got the first points for Ferry in the second quarter off of an inbounds. And, I mean, she was like the last option to throw it to, but she was wide open, and she knocked down the jump shot. And then she got an opportunity later. I think she dribbled in, free throw line, and hit that jump shot. And that was actually one that we had worked on a little bit, was dribbling in from the 3-point line and pulling up around the elbow, or in that area. So, she's got a lot of work to do yet offensively on just putting up shots and just figuring out how these shots need to go in. She needs to get her shot up in the air a little bit more. But defensive-wise, she got exposed some on defense. And on offense, it was like a hot potato a couple times because they were pressing, and she just didn't handle the ball clean on catches. So we can work on that. I can fire the ball at her and have her get used to catching it. And she got 2 hands on it. She just didn't grasp it. But on the defensive side, and I was thinking about this, kids just aren't taught good defensive principles. Any camps or anything, it's like, all right, let's get in our defensive position, and then, all right, we're going hands out, we're going to slide left, right, and most of the time your feet are even when you're doing it, or if anything, you'll drop a foot and slide backwards, or drop the other foot and slide to the other side, and then jump and challenge a shot. But where you're challenging that shot, are you challenging a right-handed shooter or a left-handed shooter? Most of the time it's wrong. Lefties just have such a built-in advantage in basketball because people, guard them the wrong way. Most little kids are right-handed kids, so when you're learning to play basketball, you're playing against righties, and you kind of want to gravitate towards that side of their body. If a kid on another team's good, then they want to force them left, right? We got to force them left. Well, if the kid's a good lefty and you're forcing them left, well, that's a mistake. So that kid's going to get a ton more points until your coach can figure out, hey, that kid's left-handed, don't force him that direction. Depending on how good the coach is, that may take a couple of possessions. But the problem is that right-handed people want to jump and challenge shots with their right hand, and on a right-handed shooter, that's not the correct strategy. You actually want to jump and challenge a shot with your left hand. What that allows you to do is keep your shoulders square to their shoulders. Your body is still lined up with them. If you challenge a right-handed shooter with your right hand, now your hand has to come back across your body, and once it does that, it tilts the whole body out of position. Your shoulders are now pointed this way, at an angle. Hips usually follow the shoulders. If you've jumped that direction, your feet are probably going to rotate as well. So if somebody puts a shot fake on you and then goes back to the left side, you're completely out of the way because you tried to challenge with the wrong hand. Whereas if you stay with the left hand up, you can keep your shoulders back, your hips back, and you're probably still outside of the basketball when they go to shoot it. And if they pump fake and they drive left, you're still in position to go with them now. And if they try to go right, you're still out. That side of your body is still pointed outwards. So they still have to go around your body. That gives you an opportunity to land and drop the foot, drop the hips, and slide back with them, at least a little bit. You'll be out of position, but not as badly as if you had challenged right-handed shooter with your right hand. The other thing that she was not content doing was playing positional defense. She was the 7th person last night. She got in because somebody was in foul trouble. It's like, you're not going in there to steal a basketball. You're not going in there to block shots. You're not a defensive stopper. You're just in there to fill minutes until the coach is comfortable sending somebody back out that's got 2 or 3 fouls. And she likes to reach. So a couple times she got caught, trying to grab at the ball, stab at the ball. And it's just, you're a freshman, you're going against, juniors. I don't know if they had any seniors, they may have one senior. You have to be content just to be between them and the basket sometimes. And I don't know if she understands that concept, just because I haven't really taught it to her, of, hands back, we're not reaching at all, we're just reacting to the ball handler, and we're just moving to try and keep them away from the basket. That's all you have to do. The thing that you don't want to do is give up a layup, right? It's like, oh man, it'd be awesome to get a steal. Yeah, that's cool, but right now as a freshman, you don't need to be out there stealing the ball off everybody. You just need to keep them from scoring. That's just as good, and then go rebound the ball. She's a decent rebounder. I would say she's a plus rebounder, especially for somebody in her grade, her size. Like she will go get the ball before they will. I mean, she can out rebound some sophomores. So that's not an issue for her. She'll get pushed out of the way a little bit just because she's light and weak. That's all right. She's a 15-year-old girl. I don't need her to be Wonder Woman right now. I don't need her to be knocking people out of the way as a 15-year-old. Some 15-year-olds can. But they're big. She's not huge. But she's got a good nose for the basketball. rebounding wise. She does go after with two hands most of the time. Last night she pawed at one. But you can't rebound with one hand. I'm sorry. Like, unless it's just coming off perfect, you just happen to snatch, rebound it. All right, yeah, that looks cool, but that is not, technically sound fundamental basketball. You got to go after with two hands. You got to. For the most part, she does. But yeah, that's it. So she scored 4 points. She's 996 away now from 1,000 varsity. I've been keeping track of her points too for JV. Just because, she gets 1,000 total. I'll maybe get her a basketball made up or something. There's 1,000 total points. She's a long ways away from that though, still. And the way things are trending, like, this team will be back next year, hopefully without COVID, and we can actually just play basketball. So she'll have a lot more opportunities, at the JV level next year. So I would expect to see some 20-point games, honestly, at the JV level next year, and probably still just be spot varsity action. I don't see the point of holding her out at JV. They're going to have 7 or 8 girls that are just varsity. There's no reason to hold her out of a JV as a sophomore. Even if you want her to play a minute or two on the varsity level, cool. But she can still play two full quarters of JV. And I think she'll be much more prepared and stronger, faster than she was this year. That's about it. That's about all I got. So that was just a little bit of a milestone. And that's it. All right. Well, be careful. Be COVID free. And go Browns. See you later.